For years they had walked the path of steel and shadow. Wilhelm Wolfsbane, the indomitable dwarven battlemaster with a will as unyielding as the axe he carried. Shadowfang, the silent blade in the dark, a phantom assassin whose past was spoken of only in rumours. And Eldralon, the storm-born evoker, whose crackling power was matched only by the storm in his soul. Bound by brotherhood, and secrets unspoken, their latest journey had not begun with a choice, but with chains. Mistaken for fugitives from a recent high-profile theft in the Vandian Empire, the trio had been captured on the outskirts of a border town. No trial, no questions, just iron shackles and a silent ride in a prison caravan heading southeast towards Hilltown, a coastal settlement said to be in need of labourers for reasons undisclosed. They were not alone. Dozens of other prisoners sat in the neighbouring carts, most equally confused or too afraid to speak. But fate, ever fond of chaos, had other plans. Not an hour beyond the dense pinewood road leading to the coast, chaos struck. An arrow hissed through the bars and struck a man beside Wilhelm clean through the eye, dropping him without a sound. Screams followed. Shadows darted through the trees. Goblin war cries echoed in the air. And fire lit the brush. Wilhelm, with reflexes honed in battlefields and bar brawls, ripped the bloodied arrow free and jammed it through the bars to Shadowfang. Without hesitation, the assassin twisted the shaft between his fingers and began picking the lock on their chains. One wrist freed, then the other. The cage door was next. Just as goblins swarmed the lead wagons, the three burst free, grabbing what they could. Chains, rocks, even bones. They fought with desperation and fury. Eldralon scrambled through the overturned supply cart, tossing crates and clothes until his hand wrapped around the cool, familiar wood of his arcane focus, his staff humming with latent power. With a shouted incantation, blue fire lashed through the trees, incinerating two goblins mid-scream. Steel clanged. Shadowfang disappeared into the smoke, only to reappear behind a goblin chieftain, blade at his throat. Wilhelm waded through the fight like a living battering ram, breaking necks and bones with his fists. When the battle ended, the guards lay dead, trampled on or torn apart. The goblins fled back into the woods, leaving the prisoners in shock and the caravan in ruin. With no duty to the strangers beside them, the trio gathered their stolen gear from the lead cart and vanished into the trees, leaving the others to decide their fate. As dusk fell and Hilltown's silhouette appeared on the horizon, smoke once again filled the sky. A roadside inn, the Red Elm, was ablaze. Goblins leaping through windows, looting and terrorizing. Screams echoed from within. From the chaos, a lone figure stood out, a young woman with raven black hair, striking even through the haze. She was cornered near the stables, fending off a goblin with a broken broomstick. Without a word, the trio charged. Eldralon unleashed a wall of lightning across the front, sending goblins flying. Wilhelm took the brunt of the rush, cleaving down two attackers with raw fury. Shadowfang disappeared into the flames, emerging only when the last goblin outside had fallen. But it wasn't over. The survivors yelled, "They're inside! Still inside! In the basement!" They descended into the cellar to find a hulking goblin leader commanding a handful of diggers. They were excavating something. A sealed tunnel, carved long ago and forgotten. The battle was brutal and swift. Eldralon's flames tore through the smaller ones. while Wilhelm and Shadowfang took down the brute together. At the bottom of the tunnel, there were goblins, had unearthed their secret. Stood an ancient stone chamber, sealed away for centuries.